Alright guys, so wanted to bring you a little blast from the past. This is the PlayStation 4 Pro. I traded my original PS4 for the PS4 Pro when it came out. And mainly because I was listening on some of the websites that PSVR was going to be coming out. So really upgraded the machine for PlayStation VR. It was my first time having virtual reality. I'd always seen it. I think the first headset that was talking about like a consumer headset was the Valve Index and also the Oculus. I think the Oculus Quest. So at the time I was vested in the PlayStation brand. So anyways, this is the one that I have, and just wanted to do a quick setting up. I'll probably do some videos on some old school PlayStation PSVR games that I thought were pretty interesting experiences. So let's go ahead and put it all together. Oh, actually, so I traded my PS4 Pro for the newer model. So the old model had this 3-prong plug, and then the newer models ended up getting the newer plug. It's just I think it's a 2-prong. Yeah, right here, just 2 prongs. So these are the newer models. So if you have a PlayStation 4 Pro and it's got this connector, this is almost the same one as the PS2, but this is a newer model of the PlayStation 4 Pro. I think my original ended up sounding like a helicopter taking off, which I traded it. So the old one had this one, and yeah, let's go ahead and get it all set up. So with the PSVR setup, it was pretty gnarly to get going. It needed one of these breaker out these processor unit boxes outside, so it would connect your HDMI, one to your TV and one to the to the PlayStation 4. Okay, and that needed its own power supply, right? So it needed its own power supply as well. And then, oh yeah, so trip down memory lane. It needed external camera. So unlike some of the newer headsets, it needed an actual camera pointed at your helmet to get it all synced up with the lights. Where's the helmet? Oh, here's the helmet. And then here's the PSVR helmet. Now, I still think this is probably one of the most comfortable helmets to put on. And also, it was easy to share. Like, I've got the PSVR 2, and I've now got the Oculus Quest 2. And as far as sharing with other people, this just was so easy to put on and off. You know, there was really no, like, IPD adjustment. It just worked. You just had to adjust this and, you know, however it sat on the person's forehead, higher, lower, and then adjusting that with this button. It worked really nice. Oh, and also, the PSVR had 2 iterations. There was one where it had the breakout box with the microphone and the speakers from it. The newer ones was single cable. The other one had like a double cable. It was really weird. I have the old unit somewhere lying around. I found it on at a yard sale. But this one I got soon after when I found that the PSVR was coming with this new update. Now, the unit came with one of these headphones. So that one just tucked underneath the input here. So you would go here. And the thing is, when you shared it with other people, you would be like sharing earwax, which I didn't like. So yeah, it sounded good if you just use it individually. It sounded pretty decent. What I ended up just doing is going with the PS Pulse headset. So I got that. It felt like it gave you a more immersive experience, and unfortunately it didn't work via Bluetooth, so you had to use like a full-on auxiliary cord cable to connect the headset to your PSVR headset to hear the audio come through. So that was kind of interesting. What else did we need? If you guys remember, these are the micro USBs. So USBs come in different forms. I think the latest iteration now is the USB-C. So these are the micro USBs. And this was used to connect the PSVR unit breakout box to the unit itself. Now I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, if you guys have the PSVR, is yours kind of flaking? Like there's a softer material here, but it's definitely got this rubbery kind of material on the outside, and it's definitely flaking on me. And it only happened when I started sharing my headset to family members. But when I used it myself, I'm pretty meticulous when it comes to using my own stuff. But when I was sharing it, then it started to have its wear and tear. So if yours is flaky, let me know. Oh yeah, you needed your controller. So controller to reset the view. So if you hit the option button, you would reset the view on your headset. And oh, here's my power unit here. So this is again, if your PSVR Pro has this power connector, that's the newer version versus the old unit. And what else? Oh, yep. So a couple more micro USBs. I got some USB cables, one to the TV, one to the actual unit. You need 2 of them. And I think, oh yeah, and also these weird looking bulbs. So these, I believe they came from the PlayStation 2 iToy era, so PS2 era. No, not PS2, PS3. So PS3 uses for the eye motion or their PS camera, and they also had motion on their console, kind of the last iteration to copy the Wii. So these were old technology that they just decided to repurpose for the PSVR. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this bad boy up. Alright, so we know these are the old school, they're colored bulbs to get it all set up. Okay, so let's see here. So that goes to the back of the unit over here. I'm still fighting cold after a week and a half. I'm not sure. Been taking a bunch of Robotism. Still hasn't been able to kick yet. It's getting better. Sound much less nasally. Okay, so power unit went into here, boom, and then that branched off into your power connector. So that's the only thing that got more power. And then you got your USB, micro USB here. So you needed to connect this to your box. Like I, for some reason, sometimes forget to connect this to the box. And then I don't remember if there was USB in the back of the PS4. I don't think there was. But I know on the front, it would go into the front of the PS4, and you would connect it right there, and that's what would give it the interface to it. Now, here's where I used to mess up on. So one says HDMI TV, the other says HDMI PS4. So you don't want to get that mixed up. Again, I wasn't a techie until, you know, buying different consoles and getting it all set up. So this right here would go to the TV. Boom. To the TV, and I'll get a monitor hooked up to it, and then the other one would go to the PlayStation 4 unit. So you want to make sure you hook that up to your console. Okay, I'm telling you, that's why a lot of people were kind of turned off by the PlayStation VR, because it was such a crazy setup. I remember when I got it on Christmas Day and I was doing the setup, it took me maybe a whole 45 minutes to get it all set up, and it was like midnight. It was Christmas Day, the family was asleep, and I decided to give it a go. And the first one I tried, first title I tried was called PS Worlds, PlayStation World, and that was trippy. I played this little shark descent game. It wasn't really a game, it was more of an experience. So this one goes over here to the back of the PlayStation 4. Gosh, look at all the wires it took to get it all working. So this one goes here. Boom. Let's get the power unit set up. I'm telling you, it takes a good 30 minutes to get it all set up. This is all in my box in the garage ever since I upgraded to the PlayStation 5. I put away the PlayStation 4 Pro. But the cool thing is, if you have a PlayStation 5, you are able to play some PSVR on it as well. You just need a different connector that you can get from PlayStation. They used to give it out free if you registered your console, but then they got cheap and they decided, hey, you know what, you can pay like $10 off of eBay. So here's the camera connector. This is the old school camera connector. You can see, I think there's another one that's got a little bit more of a cylinder. This is square, and it's cool because this old one had a tilt to it. that one went into the camera connector here. And oh, you know what? There is a USB right there. I might go ahead and do that. Yeah. It's got the USB. This is USB 2.0. Cool. I totally forgot they had a USB in the back. Did you know? I totally forgot. Okay. So this guy here now goes into this box here, and now this is really easy to remember. So the headset will go into these two boxes here. So here's your headset. Golly, this is crazy. So then these guys would go into those two inputs. If I can untangle this and open it up. Okay, there you go. So this is a pretty good length. I think it was maybe 10 feet. I feel like it was like at least 10 feet. It was good enough for sure. And then that went into here. And that went into there. That was pretty easy because it's kind of color coded. One of them's white, one of them's clear. Or silver anyways. So boom, and then gosh, the cable looks so crazy. Okay, gotta hook that up to the TV. And then where is my auxiliary cable? Oh, here it is. So I gotta connect that bad boy to the headset, which is the PS Pulse. It's gonna be a trip down memory lane once I get all set up. I'll probably replay that Ocean Descent game or Immersion, and then show you guys what it was like when I first experienced it. Okay, and then you had to get the camera all situated. Usually that would sit just like the Nintendo Wii. You put it on top of the TV, and then it would triangulate where your helmet was based on the lights that came from your headset. Your headset had like all these different lights. One in the middle, two on the bottom, two on the top, and actually two on the back too, so that way if you ever turned your head around, oh yeah, and a couple on the side. Okay, so the camera would be looking at it like that, and then it would triangulate your position, and then all that good stuff. And then, oh, I got to make sure that these guys are all charged up. So these guys, you would press these PlayStation buttons here to get all synced up to your system. And then sometimes some of them came with the micro USB. The other ones came with a different type of USB for charging. But here it is in its full glory. So you got your PS4 controllers for your PSVR. Awesome, amazing for maybe Beat Saber. Got your camera, got your headset, got your breakout box for your processing for the PSVR that hooks to the back by USB, and just need your controller to operate it all. Alright, so there it is, PS4 Pro in all its glory with the PSVR set up. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and fire up some gameplay, and then we'll check it out. So we'll revisit old school days of what the PSVR was like back when I got it in, I believe, in 2016. Okay, all right, well, thanks for watching. If you remember using the PSVR, please comment, like, subscribe, let me know how you enjoyed it. If this was your first PSVR experience, that's awesome. It was mine, so just wanted to share that with you. Quick setup, and then we'll do a couple videos, just a trip down memory lane. Alright, catch you on the next video. Bye for now.